Hey, it's Christina, walking the Alaskan plains again. Just been struggling with something. Struggling with not being in momentum. Like, I am one who really thrives and gets that high from just, what do you call it, flow or whatever, just that movement and being able to have that energy of accomplishing and breaking through and getting crap done, right? And I just feel like I am stuck. I am stuck because I have gotten some new financial ideas, and it's mainly about using my homes and using them through leverage, right? I've worked so hard, along with my husband, of course. When I say I'm always referring to him, but he's not on this channel, so all you know is me. But we've worked so hard to get debt free, including the house and the rental mortgages and everything. And now I'm at this crossroads, or I'm actually seeing the numbers, and I'm seeing how much more velocity or speed that I could be getting, more efficiency I could be getting using leverage, strategic leverage, right? Not being over leveraged. But I have this deep down aversion. I've worked so hard. We've worked so hard to just scrape and claw our way out. And it was based upon a survival of having this trauma back in 2008 where my husband lost his W-2 job. I was already home caring for kids and working my side stuff with real estate, but he was our W-2 income. He was the one that helped us qualify at that time for the mortgages we had, and we had been acquiring real estate through the leverage process, which is the brrr, right? So you're buying real estate, you're fixing it up, you're renting it out, and then you're refinancing, and then you're repeating. And we were doing that, and that works. In that moment, it works. And then we lost a job, 2008. Housing market kind of collapsed. Husband is in the new home construction industry. Everything just kind of fell in. And then we had two renters that were like, oh, by the way, kind of not going to be able to pay rent this month. And we're like, what? Well, of course, at that time, we were leveraged. What is that? Basic 75 to 80% loan to value. Meaning that if the house had $100,000 in equity, or value, we would only be able to get a loan on $75,000 of that. So, according to industry standards or lending standards, we were good, right? Yeah, until you have multiple tenants crap out on you, and now you're stuck essentially paying their way until you can maybe squeeze it out of them, or they just start accumulating months. And after figuring out the eviction process or whatever, you finally get them out. But most likely, you could bring them to court, you can get a judgment, but collecting on that, can you really get blood from a turnip? No. It's soul sucking, right? And so now we have no job and tenants that aren't paying. And so at that point, we had to turn our world like upside down. We had to end up putting our place on the market because it was paid for. We couldn't refinance it because we had no W-2 job. So we had no choice but like shake our family like a rag doll, you know, like your golden retriever does to his favorite squeaky toy. That's kind of how we felt. And it was a terrible, you know, we had 4 kids under 4. It was terrible. And at that point, we're like, we're not doing this crap again. Not gonna be caught with, you know, with our proverbial pants down, you know, with our assets showing. So anyway, we promised ourselves, and at that point, we found Dave Ramsey and got into Financial Peace University. Found out how to pay down our consumer debt. Luckily, it wasn't very much. And then we started a plan on how to strategically start paying down our rental real estate mortgages. And that took us about 10 years of working Dave Ramsey's plan. And now we're looking at like 13 years later, and actually more than that. Anyway, we have freedom, financial freedom. We have paid off real estate. And now, like, my brain has kind of gotten this, it's kind of been blown because I got hooked up with a group that is very convincing in numbers and showing how to best use my assets to, you know, create this legacy. And my brain is like, heck yeah, yep, totally agree. I get the numbers, yep. But my heart has like PTSD, financial PTSD, where it's like, oh, but what if? Like, what if a pandemic comes and the government puts a moratorium on evictions and we can't get our tenants out and they stop paying because they know they can? And then all of a sudden we have paid off real estate that we're stuck footing the bill for other people. And it's like, wow, that's super risky at this point. Like, now my assets, my paid off assets that are supposed to be, you know, this key to freedom, are now actually leaving me open to quite a bit of risk and volatility and liability, right? And so how do you balance that? And I'm at this place where I'm just like internally stuck. I am just, I don't know, like, fundamentally, I know that having no debt and not owing anyone except for owing one another in love, like, the borrower is slave to the lender, right? Like, we know that. We know that people have to continue working their jobs because they have so much debt, and they're slaves. They have no freedom. They're like indentured servants. And that's absolutely not anything that I want to go back into. And yet, now we have this new thing called these eviction moratoriums. And okay, they may be over. So what happens when the next pandemic or the next thing or the next crisis comes along? How will investors who are that have rental real estate, how are we going to be punished or taken advantage of, right? Because essentially the government was like saying that it was okay for the landlords to, you know, essentially foot the bill, right, to pay the way of their tenants. And who knows if the tenants actually couldn't get another job, or if they just chose to take advantage of the opportunity. Like, we had a lot of people that applied for and got unemployment insurance payments that perhaps could have gotten a job, but unemployment payments were far greater in amount than what they could have gotten getting a job. So it directly de-incentivized them to work, right? And so is the government also de-incentivizing renters to pay their rent by offering these moratoriums on evictions and whatnot. So, like I said, like I'm stuck. I have the trauma of knowing the pinch, and honestly, you are not a seasoned real estate investor until you have been through the full cycle, the full experience of a real estate cycle, right? And that is the ups and that is the downs. And when it is up, like right now, values are amazing, right? It is a seller's market and people are offering with escalation clauses, and it doesn't matter what it gets appraised at, and we'll throw cash, just give us the house. And that's wonderful. And it's not always like that. So if you're structuring your business in a season where it is a heyday, you're not properly preparing your business for when there are leaner times. And are you protecting and insulating yourself from ruin when those leaner times come and you aren't ready or you haven't prepared? And it's this fine line. So you don't want to be working out of scarcity, but you also don't want to be working out of foolishness. And I'm stuck here in this indecision. And it just gnaws me because I am a wiring for momentum. I love to be moving. I'm pushing. I'm driving things forward always. And I'm stuck. Do you feel that way? Like, let me know. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I am the crazy one. They keep saying it, and I keep there's only so many times that you can hear something before you're like, are they right? They. Who are they? Anyway, so I'll talk to you later, and I'm going to just continue to chew on it, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Okay? Bye.